I was watching an episode of a medical show recently, and there was this character in the show that had several warts all over his body. In fact, warts upon warts upon warts. And the more warts came on top of the warts, and he just looked like someone out of a science fiction movie. It was so gross. And I remember as I'm watching it, I kind of made the comment, oh, that is so disgusting. And as I'm looking at this, and I'm sort of looking at this character on this TV show, I felt like the Lord whispered something into my spirit. And I felt like he said, that's what sin looks like when I look into the spirit realm. And so I started to think about how much effort and time we put into the outside, the externals, not just what we look like, but how we act, our image, our reputation. And I thought about this picture of what if we could actually see into the spirit realm and see the effect of sin in our spirit. Now again, obviously this image was a grotesque image, and the idea that our sin looks like that in the spirit is like wow, like even the small things in our heart. I mean, Jesus said that, even if you have thought about adultery, you have committed it. So again, Jesus is constantly dealing with the heart space. The Bible says that man looks on the outside, but God looks at the heart. And if this is what he sees when he looks at us, that can be a discouraging point of view, because the truth is we all struggle. We all struggle with sins. Sometimes as Christians, we get so fixated on the sins that are external, the sins we can see on the outside, sexual sins, lying, things that happen on the outside that we can recognize. But what about the sins that are internal, the spiritual sins, like the pride in our heart or self-righteousness? As this was all unfolding, I just felt this deep conviction from that place. And the Lord saying that in our hearts, there is sin. Yes, there is sin. And that's what it looks like in the spirit to him, in light of a perfect and holy God. But even as I heard it, it wasn't coming from the place of discouragement. It wasn't coming from the place of condemnation. I actually sensed this hopeful place that God was revealing, that he sent his son Jesus to actually take all of that grotesqueness of the sin of our heart upon himself and to cover us. And so when God looks down at us, when he looks even into our spirit, the Bible says that because of Jesus, he looks at us through what Jesus has done and calls us righteous in that place. And yet we wrestle in the midst of walking out our faith, being obedient to God and his word, and the sinful desires of our heart. And so as we walk that out, I felt the Lord whisper this word in our prayer time, in our staff prayer time, that I want to share with you as you're navigating this, as I know we all are navigating this every day in our lives. And this is what he said. This is the answer. When we're wrestling between the desires, the fleshly desires of our heart, and God calling us the righteousness, his righteousness because of Jesus, this is what he said. He said, fix your eyes on Jesus. There is much that is striving for your attention. There is much that is deceiving you into believing that until this person does this, or this season passes, or until this or that, or all these conditions, that you can't find peace. But the truth is, Jesus has already given you peace, not as the world gives. Peace in the midst of where you find yourself today. Fix your eyes on Jesus and don't get distracted in expectations, waiting for this or that to happen, looking to what others are doing. Fix your eyes on Jesus because his eyes are fixed on you.